Hi, and welcome to a detailed demonstration of Customer Insight Manager, or CIM, by Data Numbers. So the first step would be to create an account. I already have an account, so I'll go ahead and log in. Once I log in, the first thing you can see is the dashboard. So CIM is an AI platform that understands your customers' issues and attitudes while they are conversing with your customer support personnel via chat, email, or voice. A solution is only as good as the underlying tech platform that it rides upon, and the same is true for CIM. Because Data Numbers inherits natural language processing, or NLP technology, from its parent IPsoft, CIM is powered by Amelia's world-class NLP platform. Let's take a brief detour to introduce the sophisticated NLP platform that hosts CIM. This is the NLP spectrum, starting with rudimentary RPA and chatbots, traversing through popular virtual assistants like Amazon Alexa and Apple Siri, and ultimately graduating to a virtual agent. A virtual agent is a sophisticated NLP machine, context-aware and conversationally intelligent, that can handle inbound calls from a customer for a contact center. The NLP platform that can support a virtual agent has a very rarefied presence of technologies. The only available ones on the market right now are IBM Watson and IPsoft Amelia, which is what CIM uses. Amelia's capability provides CIM to do the things that we will demonstrate. Performing world-class natural language processing, CIM detects and provides you with insights into what is utmost on your customers' minds. What products or services are they discussing? Are they pleased or unhappy with the products or services? What are their issues and attitudes with customer support being provided to them? And most importantly, are they at risk of soft churn, where they keep your account with you but fall down in the pecking order vis-a-vis your competitor? CIM provides your customer support team with the best real-time view of your customer's attitude, helping you to upsell products or prevent customer churn. This is an example of the CIM dashboard, giving you an immediate summary of your data. So on the top right here, we can see that we've already processed 1,809 sessions. Right here, we can specify the report interval. You can either select today, 3 days from today, all the way up to 6 months per day, or a custom interval. We can also toggle between all or bursty sessions. Bursty means a surge or spike in sessions that occurs in intervals over a short period of time. For example, this could be due to an outage or a new product that was introduced where customers were having a lot of issues with it. We can also toggle between resolved and unresolved sessions to see what categories might have more resolved or unresolved sessions than others. We can also categorize performance by sessions, minutes, engagement, or CES. CES is the customer effort score. We can think of it like a 5-star rating system. The more number of stars, the better. This allows us to understand how much effort it takes your customers to interact with your customer service. For example, a 4 or above is very good. We currently have 3 out of 5 stars. It could be better, it could be worse. CIM also supports omni-channel communication analytics for all chat, audio, and email. In this demo, we'll just be looking at chat. Moving on to the summary, we can drag and drop here to have a high-level summary of how many minutes total we spent on our reports, how many agents handled the reports, how many customers we have, how many insights or categories we have, and we can also switch this out and look at the number of sessions. So we've processed 1,809 sessions. Moving on, we can actually see a world map of distribution by customers. So right here, we've selected sessions. We can easily see that there were 1,690 sessions in Canada. If we toggle to minutes, we can see that there were 14,793 minutes spent total in Canada and 628 in the US. Now we can move on and look at distribution by insights. So right here, we can see that the most time was spent on transfer issues, accounting for 5,180 minutes, or 32.8% of all minutes. We can also see that the majority of reports that we had were about transfer issues and account issues. So right now, we can easily see what insights to investigate further. I would investigate transfer issues and account issues. We can also view this pie chart for subcategories. For every one of these categories, you can dive into the subcategories to understand the root cause or pain points for the customer. For example, with transfer issues, we see that the biggest frustration for customers is transfer time, with 31.9% of sessions spent on transfer time. Next is miscellaneous transfer issues, transfer error, and so on. We can also view a distribution by resolutions. So we can see quickly here that 86.7% of all sessions were resolved and 13.3% were unresolved. This is a big deal. Issues left unresolved for premium customers is bad for business. This is a huge problem across all industries. Right now, businesses are trying to find out manually via surveys which customers are unhappy. The issue with surveys is that they're reactive and have less than a 15% response rate in general. It's usually too late by the time you get a response from a survey. CIM is proactive and solves this huge problem of finding your customers' unresolved issues. Your QA process demands to know the answer. It requires very sophisticated NLP that only CIM can provide to find the answer to this important question, once again, thanks to IPsoft's Amelia's NLP. So in order to populate this dashboard, we want to go ahead and upload our data. So the first thing we want to do when uploading data is to download the template. The template looks like this. You want to include the visitor ID, the agent name, the chat requested time, the duration of the chat in seconds, the country the chat was requested from, the device the chat was requested from, and a full transcript that CIM will be using world-class natural language processing to analyze. So now that we know what format our data needs to be in, we'll go ahead and select training because we first need to train the model before we can test it. So we'll go ahead and upload our training data. And this should just take a second. And we'll upload the file. And now we can start to build the machine learning models on our data. So building the model would take around 15 to 20 minutes for about 3,000 chat sessions, depending on the length of the transcripts. For this trial, we can upload up to 3,000 chat sessions. However, CIM is extremely scalable and can actually support up to 5 billion sessions a month. Just contact us if you need further support. So now that our model has been successfully built, we see a list of topic labels. So this includes topic, keywords, and a user label. We promised that CIM would be extremely easy to trial. Here's another piece of evidence for that. With many other AI solutions for customer insight, you have to do considerable homework to get started. For instance, in an empty table, you would have to populate the various keywords that define a particular issue and repeat this for several rows, one for each issue. Clearly, this would be a time-consuming exercise. This is not the case with CIM. Its advanced unsupervised NLP analyzes the input data and your chat sessions, for instance, to automatically identify the clusters of keywords and populates them into the table. All that you're left to do now is to identify the issue for each row's keywords, and then you're set for the trial. That's simple. Let's show how. So right here, we can see that the words are transfer, e-transfer, deposit, send. So for example, this might be addressing a transfer issue. Right here, we see account, bank, accept, system, invoice, and right here, this topic might be an account issue. Of course, a professional in your industry would know these keywords better. If you would like more or less granular topics, you can put in your specified number of topics here. So you go ahead and click yes. You type in the number of topics you want. Maybe you want more topics. So right now we have 9. I might type in 12. And then if you click submit, the machine would rerun the model and pick 12 topics from your chosen data. After you click submit, the dashboard will take anywhere from 45 minutes to 2.5 hours to populate. Feel free to log out during this time. CIM will continue to populate the data even when you're logged out. Once CIM is done populating the dashboard, it can send you a report straight to your inbox. This you can toggle in settings. This report will include a distribution of all actionable issues and problems expressed by your customers in the chat sessions, average sentiment values of your customers, whether it's positive, negative, or neutral, and an average CES value of your sessions, which will tell you if your customers are happy or unhappy. The sentiment analysis that shows up in your inbox immediately gives you an opportunity to control customer attrition or give you an opportunity to cross-sell or upsell more of your products to a happy customer. To do a further analysis, we can go to Reports and first into Charts. So there are 3 charts here. If we switch to Sessions, we can go ahead and first look at distribution by insights. This is an easy to read bar chart comparing the amount of sessions, minutes, or CES score by category. So we see here that transfer issues have the most sessions by far, and transfer issues and account issues add up to the predominant number of sessions. If we hover over the download arrow, it gives us capability to download as a picture, SVG, or PDF, save as a spreadsheet or a JSON, annotate the chart, or print it for ease of sharing with your IT team or your customer service team. The weekly distribution by insights is a linear time series of sessions, minutes, or CES score categorized by insight. For example, we see that we have a peak around November 3rd here. This might account for a new version of product or software that caused reports to spike. In any case, this gives you an indicator to look into what caused the spike in reports. Again, for every chart here, we can download and share. So right here, we can look into a bar chart for subcategories. Just like the distribution by insights, we can see the distribution of what subcategories took up the most time within transfer issues. So there were by far the most transfer time reports and the most transfer time sessions. And moving on, we can see exactly what subcategories accounted for the most sessions. We can also see what agents handled the most reports or the most sessions. We can see that agent 7 here handled the most reports for transfer issues. And finally, we can look at traffic. So traffic compares sessions and minutes over time on a daily basis. We can see at a glance what kind of issues your agents are spending their most time on. Right here, we can see that out of 23 sessions, agents spent 248 minutes on October 29th. Right here, we can see on November 8th, there were 44 sessions that agents spent a total of around 500 minutes on. So we know on November 8th, agents spent a lot more time on each individual session than they did on October 29th. We can compare this daily report to the weekly report and give an overall view of what happened on what day. So moving on, we can also dive deeper into Analyze. Analyze is where you can quickly see specific customer complaints in easy-to-read spreadsheets. And the first is to look at CIM reports, categorizing every report by insight. Right here, we can also see what the user sentiment was, whether it was neutral overall, negative overall, or positive overall. We can also categorize by sessions and easily see which insight had the least sessions, which insight had the most sessions, and we can do the same for minutes and CES score. On the top right here is a high-level summary of the total number of sessions, total number of minutes, and average CES score. So if we select transfer issues, we can go ahead and view daily reports for transfer issues. This spreadsheet gives us the insight into what date the transfer issue happened, what user sentiment that CIM's NLP has calculated overall, how many sessions were on that day, minutes, and average CES score. So let's say we wanted to look into what happened on October 31st, exactly what reports. We would just open up this next table here. And this next table shows us resolved, unresolved, and CES score. These are both calculated by CIM's NLP algorithm, and resolved and unresolved means whether it believed that the transcript was resolved successfully or the customer left unsatisfied, and then it assigns a CES score. We can note that unresolved, which is indicated by the red X here, has a significantly lower CES score, and the green check mark indicating resolved sessions had much higher CES scores. It also gives you key statistics like start time, location, duration, agents, user sentiment, which is once again calculated by the NLP, wait time, and so on. We can also view all sessions. It gives you the exact same insights that the daily report does, but for every single session, regardless of category or date. So this is helpful because if we want to search for a specific user ID or session ID, we can go ahead and just search that. So right here, if I want to look up this session, it'll easily report which sessions had which session IDs. We'll go ahead and look at this unresolved one. So you see right here that in this transcript, this customer wanted to completely close their bank account due to the reason that the transfer is not working smoothly and the holding time is too high. We can also see why it was unresolved. The agent never did close their account successfully, as it seems from the transcript, and so the CES score was low and the session was marked as unresolved. We can see immediately what the bottleneck is and what the pain points for the customer are. Once again, we have charts here for ease of visualization for transfer issues. Moving on to settings, this is where you can set what notifications you want in your inbox, as well as what kinds of notifications you want in your inbox. Global thresholds allows you to set a bottom limit for your CES value. Whenever a CES value for a session drops below the threshold you have set, you will get a notification in your inbox. For example, if you would never want a session to have a CES score below, say, 2.1, you could go ahead and save that, and that would set the threshold. If you turn Alerts Digest on right here, you'll be receiving a report for each session that drops below the global threshold. This report will also include the session IDs for those sessions and transcripts of those sessions. You can see that CIM automates the entire process of identifying problems that your customers are having, the root cause of the problems, and will also tell you why your customers are happy or unhappy through the transcript. Turning on the Statistics Digest will allow you to receive a report of actionable issues, average sentiment values, and average CES score. After demoing Customer Insight Manager, I want you to go home with some key takeaways. First, CIM is very easy to trial without any IT effort. There's no need to involve your IT department. All you need to do is just upload your data and you're ready to go. Second, CIM is extremely easy to use, just like what I said. CIM will automatically send you actionable insights after the dashboard is populated. CIM is also proactive and not reactive, like the industry standard of surveys. Customer insights are enhanced by specific opportunities for upsell and cross-sell and identification of premium customers at the risk of soft churn. This helps you grow revenues faster. At Data Nomers, we also believe in outcome-based selling. You can identify the ROI for your environment easily and trial CIM to see it deliver. CIM is also very scalable. It's a cloud-based scalable SaaS system that can support up to 5 billion sessions a month. Please contact us if you need support beyond 3,000 sessions at sales@datanomers.com. Omnichannel analytics are also supported for chat, audio, and email. And last, CIM can be easily customized to integrate seamlessly into your workflow. Please don't hesitate to contact us using either this form or our email, sales@datanomers.com, if you have any questions or need any support beyond what I showed you. We'll respond within 1 business day. Thank you so much for watching. And please email us if you have any questions.